How's it going? Can you hear me? Another night of Bachelorette goodness with Tayshia. Gotta say, wow. Tayshia really sliding into that Bachelorette role really, really well. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the post-show live stream where we're going to be discussing everything that went down this past episode that just happened right now. We just watched it. And to anyone who's coming in here, I know that sometimes happens. If you're wondering, where's the recap? What's going on? What the heck is this? This is where we're just going to be chatting about the show, going to be answering questions, going to be interacting with chat. The recap is going to be coming in the next day, and the preview breakdown after that. And apparently there's also a preview or something for Matt James' season of The Bachelor. Not sure what that's going to be, but I'll be checking that out. If it's any good, I'll do a video on it. But, there's just a few rules before we get into the live stream. Please, sleuthing spoilers only in the chat. Any questions are welcome. I'm going to do my best to answer them as I see them. Some can get missed in, as they go by or as I'm talking about other stuff, but all super chats will get priority. And last but not least, be kind to each other. That's all. Really simple, really easy. But let's get going and talking about this episode. I can't believe we know your name now. Yeah, I mean, a lot of I never hid my name. I talked about it in a previous live stream. I guess I never talked about it a lot, but this episode of The Bachelorette, we got a lot of dude drama, and a lot of, it seems to be, a few men are kind of pulling ahead. They're getting the good edits and the good time with Tayshia, and the rest of the men are kind of jockeying for their TV time through drama. And I mean, that happens all the time on this show. It's the people who aren't going to be front runners are fighting with each other. They're getting that TV time. They're going for that, Bachelor in Paradise edit or any sort of, anything. But Emma, thank you for the super chat. Team Ed or Chasen? Ed's face lifting weights was everything. Team neither of them. I mean, it was all stupid, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I guess, no, neither of them. Team neither of them. This business, the snitching business, the whole fighting, the dude drama, the puff in the chest, I'm not a fan of it either way, so nah, neither of them. I know a lot of people were more Team Ed than Team Chasen, but neither. And John, thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on Ben this episode? It was a weird Ben edit this episode. I mean, I'm wondering if they're going for the sympathy for Ben. I mean, it wasn't a terrible Ben episode, but it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the greatest for him. We'll see as it goes through. Now we know for a fact, because we've seen the previews, that Ben's going to be getting one-on-one, at least another one-on-one, or a one-on-one, and possibly more as the season goes on. So I wouldn't be too worried. If you like Ben, I wouldn't be too worried. And Brittany, thank you for the super chat. Did Chasen ring your douche bell like he did mine? Yeah, I was not a fan of anything that was going on. And so unnecessary, so stupid, all of the stuff that was going down. Chasen he's not going anywhere. Maybe you might have been watching the rose ceremony that happened this episode and wondered how both of them stayed. After all the drama and everything that Tayshia kept both of them. It's literally because there were two guys there that had no screen time. Montel and Peter, two of the new guys. That's it. I don't know if it's going to be next episode or the episode after or whatever, but Neither of those men are going to make it to the top 6. They're not going far. So they're just getting their dude drama going. And Rosie, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Weird question after the face reveal. Congrats on 100K. Thank you so much. Do you have another YouTube channel? You sound so familiar. Maybe I've just watched too many vids. Haha, no, I do not. I know it was fun seeing some people post like, oh, are you this person on YouTube too? Are you that person? No, I have only this one channel. But there is more. I do know someone else who has a YouTube channel, and stay tuned. But no, I run only this YouTube channel. That's it. No other secondary channels, but I'm considering starting another channel not for my main focus is Bachelor content. That's it. But I have a lot of stuff I'm thinking about, lots of stuff in the works that I got to organize now that we've had the face reveal. Now we can start doing this. So that's the plan. So, yeah, people talking that Ben's edit was bad. I agree. But to me, with this season, it just comes down to the math. And I talked about this in my last preview breakdown. It's when you take away all the guys that are going nowhere, guys like Chasen and Ed, guys who are kind of in the background, who have no preview footage, who get little to no screen time. Joe, unfortunately, Joe was great this episode, but he's just gonna last as long as he lasts, whether that's a few episodes or what. But when you take away all of them left, you only got like 6 guys, maybe 7 or so who could possibly slot into hometowns. So Ben is one of those guys, and I doubt he's going anywhere anytime soon. Please discuss Bennett's behavior / edit this episode. Bennett was so weird. Bennett's a guy. I like that Bennett's on here because he makes me it's just so weird. Bennett as an entity on the show is weird, and it makes me laugh, but I don't take him seriously. Like, this guy, he's going nowhere. He in the preview, he has some footage and he gets a kiss and all this. And so, that's great. Maybe he'll last a few more episodes because of that. I don't know. I'll look, we'll deep dive into that in the preview breakdown. But he's someone you don't take seriously. It's McKenna all over again. It's John Paul Jones when he was on Hannah Brown's season. Funny, weird, interesting to watch. You don't take him seriously. And just it made me laugh. The whole stupid grown-ass mandate. What a weird concept to do. But he's not a serious contender in any way. And Katie, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Do you think they featured more background guys this episode to remove Easy from the final edit? Heard production is aware now. Yeah, I wonder. So if you don't know, Easy has been the subject of abuse allegations, and it's sort of maybe been a part of why he was no longer in this episode. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if next episode he gets more of an edit or not or whatever. But yeah, we'll see with Easy. A lot of TV shows have been doing that. For example, cutting someone out of the show who has had controversies. Sherry Pie from RuPaul's Drag Race. There was also a show that I got into so much over the course of the pandemic, reality kind of trashy stuff. Below Deck. Have you heard of the show? I mean, it's a popular show. But there was a guy on Below Deck Mediterranean who halfway through he posted something and they just removed him from the edit of the show. He just was no longer there. Guy's name was Pete. So they've been doing that. So it's possible that they might be distancing themselves. And really caught now. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Jake here. Love the face reveal. I think Tayshia made a good call with Noah. These guys seem to not like any guy that gets lots of times with Tay. Yeah, I'm not hating Noah based off of the edit so far. On this episode, at least. He didn't jump over the gate uninvited. Right? That was you know, I know gate jumping and all that right now is a thing, but he was invited to do so. And then the people kind of were upset because he got the rose, he got the group date rose. I don't know. I'll watch the episode again, but I don't think he's that villainous. That being said, he gets a pretty good villain edit in the preview. By the way, people posting Mike Book giveaway. So for the Mike Book giveaway, it's only going to count anytime you go to the face reveal video and post it in any kind of comment. It's only for that video. And because on next week's live stream, I'm going to do a random comment selection, and that's where people are going to be. That's where it's going to be selected. The people are going to get that. And Rael, thank you so much for the super chat. How do you feel about Ben's strategy? Whether Tayshia should have given him more time / Tayshia's negative reaction to said strategy. Well, I mean, look, Ben had a rough episode. That's just the way it is. I mean, apart from, I think at the beginning he had a really good and there's like a kiss shot in here with him and Tayshia, but it didn't end up as well. But I would not. I don't think it's something that's going to have a lasting effect with Tayshia. I think he's going to go far. So at the end of the day, whatever you want to say about Ben's episode, it's not going to matter. We know he still gets a one-on-one, at least one, possibly more, based off of the preview footage. There's at least one, and I think two at least with Ben. So he's slotting into that top 4 easy, apps 100% top 6. There's just no way other guys get ahead of him, and more. I think he's at least a top 3 guy. And Chloe, thank you so much for the super chat. Would you ever make videos about Survivor? You mentioned it in the face reveal. You watched that as well. I would consider it. At the end of the day, this is, a Bachelor channel, and I'd say my knowledge of Bachelor is something I'm more confident in than Survivor. Also, I could talk about Survivor, the winner edit in Survivor, but it's a much, much more complicated thing. And think about the way that you tell the story of a Bachelor season versus the way you tell a story of a season of Survivor. You could have someone win the game in Survivor who's not really an important player until the last quarter of the game, or until the last third of the game, or until the tribes merge. And so you could have edits where for the first half of the game it's all about these people, but the winner of the game's not shown at all. Very different in The Bachelor, where you have to where they're all together. It's all like one tribe, and the quote, whatever winner of the season is there from night one, and it's about love story. It's about getting the audience to fall in love with these people as well. So it's a much different thing. But I would definitely consider doing it if the timing was right and if it felt right. So what do you think of Matt James' 30-second preview? I haven't seen it yet. But I'm sure I will see it, and I'll get to it. And if it's good, if it's juicy, if it's worth doing, if there's some info, I'll do a video on it after the regularly scheduled videos. And Catherine, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. Speaking of members, I also want to add something more than just like supporting the stream that members get, but so I want to do something where like maybe once or twice a month, anyone who's a member can join me in something we do together. I like the things that come to mind are doing playing Among Us or a popular game like Jackbox, or I don't know, something else. I was just thinking of something where like I don't have to be on at all. It's all just really chill, relax. So here, actually, I'm going to create a poll. Let me see if this works. Let me see if I can link this in here. 1 second, everybody. See if this works. And I don't know if everyone here can kind of vote. Maybe I'll do it again next week, and then whatever wins out at the end of the month, we'll do. But so, and Abigail, thank you for the super chat. I see Damar in the final 6. What do you think? I don't. Well, no. So he, Damar, he did get some screen time this episode, and he got a kiss, and he's got the salmon jacket. So he's got that going for him. He could, yeah. So the way I really had him out. He's obviously a little bit better after last episode. But I don't know. I'll have to think about it because there are just, I think, a few other men who slot higher. I think, Noah, at this moment, he's more likely to slot into a top 6. He might get brought down by drama. Spencer, obviously, is someone who Tayshia likes. Not very touched upon in this episode. But I sometimes wonder if if someone gets a bad edit, like Spencer got in the last episode. And Savannah, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. So, like, Spencer got, obviously, a sort of, I don't know, bad edit in the last episode, right? When he was introduced, all the men were against him, and he got the first impression rose. And he got no screen time this time around. And I don't know what that means, but what I'm thinking of is Hannah Ann. Remember from Peter's season? Villain edit right at the beginning, and then disappeared for a while, and then suddenly, okay, she's a contender. All of a sudden. So, and Holly, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. So, I don't know. I don't know if it actually means anything, but I'm curious. Who do you want to leave next? The guys who are fighting, Ed and Chasen. Sorry, guys. I'd rather see those two go than, like, Joe. And Latrice, thank you so much for the super chat. I wish they would have asked Carly and Evan or Rachel and Brian to host the date instead of Ashley, I, and Jared. I like them, but they show them a lot. Yeah, I know. I'd rather have Carly and Evan. I believe Rachel shows up at some point in the season. So I don't know what I thought. Apparently she was showing up, and I thought it was going to be like to talk with Tayshia. Maybe it's still going to be that. Maybe it's going to be closer to when Tayshia's at that final rose moment or final four or something like that. So Rachel should be showing up at some point. I think maybe Carly and Evan also with their kids and the bubble. It just wasn't going to happen. Not so. I'm actually not surprised. And Ashley, I, and Jared have like a following, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, no, I'd like to see Carly and Evan too. And Cassandra, thank you so much. Thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. And Sarah as well. Thank you. So, Carly was pregnant. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. So, and with the poll and stuff like that, we could also do all of the above. Like this can be, well, this will be a regular sort of thing. And Think Story. Did anyone sleuth you out before the face reveal? Maybe they did. I don't know how to answer that, because there are some things I'm still gonna be private about a few things, even if everyone's like super well intentioned, but perhaps one or two people did. So do you think Caitlin Bristow will win Dancing with the Stars? I think she has a good chance. I think she has I would say she's a front runner, and I say that purely because I think she can dance well, and at this point I don't know, the judges seem to be just giving out 10s to everyone, and I think she can win. I think she has a following and she can dance. I will be doing a video on the Dancing with the Stars finale. I'm gonna touch on that. It's been I was thinking about doing a video today for Dancing with the Stars, but with the face reveal and everything setting up for this, it's been too. I've had to prioritize. Neve could win too. Nelly has a following. I'd be happy with Neve, Caitlin. I'd be happy with Justina too. But thoughts on Chasen and this Wolverine business? I don't know. He needs to drop it. I'm gonna be happy when this whole drama with the dude drama's done. So I'll be ready for that when that happens. So. And Transmutation Knits. Thank you for the super chat. If Ben is a golden retriever, is Noah a beagle? I guess. I mean, yeah, it's let's all assign dogs to each of the dudes. Yeah, golden retriever's pretty good. The good boy for Ben. But also Noah, tell me if you agree. Better without the mustache, I think. Better without the mustache. And Rael, thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on the smoke show comment? I don't know what the heck was up with that. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I posted this in my last video, with the smoke show thing. I don't know, like, I guess there may be circumstances where you could call someone a smoke show and it's bad, but if it's someone you're dating and you're like, wow, you're a smoke show, or someone you're with, I don't know, is it a bad thing? You tell me, because I don't know, I think at the base of it, the guys were just reaching for something. You know? They're reaching, like, find something that someone says and then, like, oh, we can pile on. Maybe. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world to say, right? I mean, maybe, yeah, like, someone's a cheap compliment. Like, maybe there are better things you can say. You know, like, but, you know, more flattering things, or, you know, I don't know, but I don't think it was, you know, get your pitchforks out, let's cancel this guy, right? I don't know, overreaction. Margaret Ardillo, thank you so much for the super chat, really appreciate it. Would you ever do a collab video with Think Story? Chris Harrison face. Absolutely Think Story. Let's do it. So, yeah, and do a drag race breakdowns. All right. He wishes. But yeah, no, Tayshia, I don't know. Tayshia, she's doing well as the Bachelorette. I'm here for it. Do you think Tayshia keeping both of the dramatic guys was authentic? I always think that there's producer influence at this portion of the show. Like, we'd like you to keep these guys around. And, you know, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Right? Like, there could have been something that Montel and Peter said that really turned off Tayshia, and it was worse than the drama that was going on with Ed and Chasen. We don't know that, but I think, you know, those two guys just kind of nothing interesting was happening, and the producers pushed for that. And you know, Tayshia's like, whatever, I'm going to eliminate all of them anyways. Like, I have to eliminate, 2-3 guys or something this episode? Fine, if it's them now, whatever. You know. Like, you probably want to, if you're the lead, play ball as much as you can with production. If one of them did something, like, atrocious, like, obviously, that's it. So, and someone's saying, here's my take on Smoke Show. He's not saying it to Tayshia, but to the guys and to cameras. That seems off to me. Of course, calling her a smoke show to her, and she likes it, then go ahead. Fair enough. There you go. That's yeah. I mean, and the way I envisioned it in my mind when talking about smoke show was that, like, you're saying it to their face. But I mean, you know, I still don't think it's something we should, you know, grab our pitchforks over. Obviously, Chasen is getting into the drama and all this, and he's someone on the outs anyways, so I have no problem with that. But oh, and so I'd love to hear what Fantic thinks about the responsibility of production when contestants are violent. Yeah. Like, if there's any, first of all, like, there's supposed to be a psychiatrist on set, and when anyone is violent, anyone is dangerous, they should be removed immediately. It's, you know, this is a trashy reality TV show, but there's a line, and, you know, you gotta draw it, right? You know, there's a point where drama's fun to watch, and then there's a point where it's no longer fun. Do you think Ed just didn't want to fight Chasen? No, I believe him. I think the guy, like, obviously Ed is a very muscular dude. I think he would probably have confidence. But I think, he has this, if he has it, I believe, I take him for his word that he had the shoulder injury. So Ed should have brought up the shoulder issue earlier, though. It was weird timing. Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue. I'll take him for his word on it. Don't want to injure yourself. But if it ever comes out that he didn't have a shoulder injury, if it ever comes out, can you imagine that? That's a big risk to take. If this guy goes on national TV and says all this, and then someone says, dude never went through that. So when is the face reveal? Go check my channel right now. It's already up there. It is already on my channel. 100K face reveal. It happened. If Matt James wasn't already the Bachelor, who from these guys would you want to be the Bachelor? I would have said Ben. This episode was a weird one for Ben, but I always thought Ben was getting a good Bachelor edit. At least in terms of what they were giving him as an edit, from production. So, Bennett for Bachelor, absolutely. Bennett, he's the guy. So, that to me is the person who immediately comes to mind. Why do you think JoJo comes to host and not Wells or Ben Higgins, who have both sort of hosted before? It probably Ben Higgins thing was I don't know. There's probably a good a legitimate reason. Ben Higgins was probably not considered at all, or he's kind of been drawing out of Bachelor Nation, whereas JoJo's still in it and a little more, and I don't know, maybe with it being the Bachelorette, they probably had already. There's probably some scheduling stuff. They'd already filmed Wells. They'd already had Wells in and out. Maybe. I don't know. It could be a just for the show. She's more hostly. I don't know. Or maybe they just wanted additional names, additional people, as many as they could possibly get. So. Carlos for Bachelor, absolutely. Youngest Bachelor ever. But he's got the right stuff. Where is Carlos now? He's on the road. He's on the run. So is Paradise happening next year? That is a good question. I would imagine so. Obviously, this is just me. This is purely speculation. But there was legitimate reason and good reason for there to not be Paradise this year. But if you're the production team, if you're ABC, you've got a lot more time to prepare and do the same sort of thing that they've done for this season and for Matt James' season. And prepare a bubble. Have it in the US this time. Just find a beach, get everyone together, film Paradise in a bubble. Hopefully, it'd be wonderful if down the line everything was fine and we didn't need a bubble. That's great. But they've got time to prepare for that. They got lots of time to prepare for that. I mean, we've got Bachelor in January, and then I'm presuming the Bachelorette in May once more. Back to Paradise. So they've got time. They've got a whole half year. And I've seen people like Dale kissing. I saw a link to a thing. It's going around with was Dale out with someone, and to me it's all tabloid stuff at this point. So, like I don't, obviously something could happen more with it, but it's tabloid stuff right now. So. I'm not putting much stock into it until, we'll keep an eye. So, but at this point, can't wait to see Sydney and Becca next episode. Yes, and more people that, again, were sleuthed out to be in the bubble. There's photos that Sydney posted on her, I guess it was like Instagram or something, and the staircase she was sitting on looked exactly like La Quinta. Her and Becca on a group date. So, would you be into Becca being the Bachelorette again now that she and Garrett have broken up? I think it would take a really, really special scenario for someone to be the Bachelorette again. I think they could have done Hannah Brown, again this past season, which I know, Hannah Brown again, but the hype was real in terms of like viewership and ratings and stuff like that. But now that moment's passed, I think. The only reason that could have happened was because she was so involved in Peter's season, and they didn't have anyone that they were excited about for Peter's season, and they I heard that they asked Hannah Brown actually, but I think she it would have taken a lot for her to do it, but that was a very specific scenario. And Hannah Brown was also so recent and fresh in people's minds. And she came off of like Dancing with the Stars, winning Dancing with the Stars. It was a very sort of specific scenario that I think it could have happened. That production could have went, okay, yep, let's do it again. Obviously, they've done it before. They did it with Brad Womack twice. But I think it takes a very specific scenario for someone to be the lead again, and so I don't think anyone should be the lead again, at least at this point. Like for the next Bachelorette after this. So. Can you talk about Noah and how he scooped the group date rose? Yeah, no, Noah got it, I think, fair and square. It wasn't like a situation where someone came in and, decided, I'm going to show up on the group date, like Blake, what he did with Claire. He was invited the whole way. And he shaved his mustache. He did it. And he looks better. So, if it had been, Ed decides to bow out, and Noah says, I'm going to come in, and he just joins the group date without anyone inviting him, and then follows along to the, the night portion of the date, and Tayshia decides to give him the rose, different story. So, I think he won it fair and square. I mean, the story of the sort of story that seemed to be told on that date was that Ben lost the group date rose as well. You know, like she was sort of disappointed, and there was a possibility that if, you know, he could have gotten that group date rose, and sort of Noah got it by default afterwards. So, do you think Mike should have been the Bachelor instead of Matt James? I think Mike should have been the Bachelor instead of Peter. That's what I think. But, you know, obviously that didn't happen. So, again, I think he should have been considered maybe for Matt James' season, but I also think that they were vetting Matt. They were vetting Matt for you know, they sort of had him in their back pocket if they wanted to pull the first black lead finally, especially with he's got like a big following already and the Tyler connection. So, but yeah, I feel like you know, we'd be in a whole different timeline if they had chosen Mike instead of Peter. Probably should have done that. So, but you know, but people talking about Ben, I'm seeing like, don't worry about Ben. Ben, if you like Ben, you want to see him back. He's gonna be just fine. He's got a at least a few one-on-ones ahead of him, based on the preview footage alone. Yeah, maybe Mike wouldn't have put up with the drama. I don't know, but I don't know. I think he would have had better decision making than Peter amidst all of it. But you know, maybe at the end of the day, they also saw Peter, like he interviewed, and they saw Peter was totally willing to go along with whatever production wanted, and I don't know. We don't know. We weren't there. We don't know why the decisions were made entirely, but should have been Mike. So, yeah, wish Tayshia would have sent Ed and Chasen home. Me too. But it'll happen. It'll happen. It's just a matter of time. Like, we'll look at who's left, and honestly, like, Tayshia's not entirely impressed with the whole Chasen stuff and the Ed stuff. We've seen this episode, so it's just a matter of time. So, who do you think Mike would pick from Peter's season? I don't know. There's probably like people that would have made it further night one. It's so hard to. There was so much drama, and we don't know if they would have had a different cast as well, because it's not like, I think like with the Bachelorette, there seems to be a lot less time in between, you know, like when they're casting and they're thrown all together, whereas they have the whole summer to kind of get the Bachelor going. So we might have had a different cast of people too. So we probably would have had many of the same, because there's people there that are, you know, great for drama, great for TV. But I think we would have had some people from night one. Marissa, maybe. I remember when that was on, I thought Marissa was someone who should have made it farther. I don't know why. maybe he would have kept her around for longer. Who knows? We can only dream about that alternate timeline. Has your top 3 changed after this episode? No. No. I think I don't think that like it would take something big to change my top 4. But I think you could toss up any of Ben, Zach, and Brendan as winners. Any of them at this point. And Zach got a great edit this episode. A great edit. And I'll tell you why. He got one little segment. He just got one little segment of romance. Boom. He wasn't a part of this episode. He wasn't a part of this episode. In no way was he a part of the storyline of this episode. And yet, he got a whole scene. He got a whole romance scene. You know? He got the whole, this is a grown-ass man scene. You know? He's the guy, he's keeping the boys in line. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's still top dog. But Brendan, obviously, you know, nothing bad there. The only parts he got were positive. Ben was a part of the storyline this episode. And Ivan looks to be getting some good time too. So to me, there's no moving those guys around from the 4. But any of them could move up and down the 4. So yeah, the community episode. Yes, absolutely. Alternate timelines. I wish. Transmutation Knits. Thank you for the super chat. What does a La Quinta 2-on-1 look like? They go to a pool. One person sits with Tayshia on the other side of the pool. The other person waits for their turn. I don't know. But right now, La Quinta 2-on-1 looks like Ed and Chasen. And maybe that's what they're holding out for. Maybe the reason why the producers are pulling for those two to stay, get a 2-on-1 with those two. But, you know, there's plenty of room for more dude drama. Lots of guys still left. Lots of room for new 2-on-1 opportunities. Another wrestling match, yeah. Something like that. So yeah, throw them both. And that's happened. I mean, with Peter's season, we got like the kind of fake 2-on-1, which was weird. You know, with McKenna, and they like McKenna stayed, and then they sent McKenna home anyways. So it was like, why did we even have this sort of thing? So could be another one of those situations. Either way, usually the 2-on-1s, both people go. So at the end of the day, it's all moot. So we are going to be coming now to the last 5 minutes. Last few minutes, maybe 10 of the stream. You know the deal. Getting them nice and early. Walk the dogs. Start editing. Get that recap video out. So, do you think they'll do another Listen to Your Heart? I doubt it. Especially with everything that's going on right now. But I think that was sort of they wanted to fill a slot. From what I heard, the ratings were not maybe what they hoped for, but They said the same sort of thing from Bachelor Winter Games, and they're planning a Bachelor Summer Games. So I think there's plenty of room for more spin-offs to come. I think ABC's always going to be wanting more Bachelor spin-offs. But I don't know about the listen to your heart stuff. But they got their, they plugged their people. I think they were planning for some people to maybe go on Bachelor in Paradise, but obviously that never happened. So I hope they do winter games again. Yeah, they're gonna do. They've said they're gonna do summer games when the actual Olympics are back. That was the plan. And they are, yeah, and they're gonna do that seniors bachelor thing too. They said that's still something that they're planning to do. Don't know the details of that, and obviously that's been postponed. But there's always more Bachelor spin-offs going. I think it's just the Bachelor, at least the main three, the Bachelor, the Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise, they're going to try to replicate that as much as they can. But yeah, replacing Chris Harrison, I think that's a long ways away. He'll be doing that into his gray hairs if he wants to. But I mean, yeah, if you're talking right now, you got to think Wells is a candidate. But that's a tough conversation to have. How old are we talking for seniors? I believe it was 60s and up. Is what I believe. 60s and up. How do you think the next episode will be structured? I have no clue. All of these episodes, oh my god, just I have no idea. We got rose ceremonies in the middle of the episode, no eliminations some episode. My best guess is that we're finally going to get a one-on-one, and I hope they maybe do another group date and then end the episode on a rose ceremony. We can kind of get back on track. Because it's so hard. Because I was wondering what the heck was going on. They had 2 group dates in the preview for this episode with the same people on them. So it was is this a 2-parter group date? Is this grown man challenge supposed to be first we're going to, cook for Tayshia and then we're going to wrestle and stuff? So I don't know. I miss the end of the episode elimination structure. I guess they kind of were, messed up with the whole Claire stuff, and that threw everything out of whack. But come on, let's get it back on track. Zach for the one-on-one. I'll talk about possible one-on-ones and whatever what the heck is going on in the preview breakdown. See if we can figure out the exact person who's going to be on the one-on-one. There's definitely going to be a one-on-one next episode. I don't see a world where they have another episode without a one-on-one. So, hopefully a rose ceremony too. Because yikes. What do you think about Bennett after today's episode? It's funny to watch, but I don't take the guy seriously. But, Paradise, here he comes. So, Ivan could get the next one-on-one. They've shown maybe. We still haven't seen Ben's one-on-one. We still haven't seen Zach's one-on-one, which we know is coming. All in the preview shots. So So we're going to come now to the end of the stream. Thank you all for joining me, chatting about the show tonight. Tomorrow, we'll be back with the recap video, and the day after, Tayshia's preview breakdown for next week. And I'm going to check out, there was apparently a preview for Matt James' season. If it was anything that had actual footage in it of substance, I'll do a video on it. My fear for that preview is that it's just like a 30 seconds of kind of nothing important, no date footage or anything. If that's the case, then I probably won't touch on it. If there's something worth talking about, maybe we'll talk about, they have released the women for Matt's season. So maybe there will be a video after that as well. And next week on the live stream, I'll be doing the giveaway thing. And if you want that, don't comment here. Comment on the face reveal video. The face reveal video is up on YouTube already, and I answer some Ask Me Anything questions. So great talking with you, talking about the show, and until next time, Bachelor Fan Take out.